Hello, grade 7, 8 parents. If you're watching this video, your child is probably in my class this year, and that's awesome. I'm excited to be working with your child this year, and I'm created a little video here just to inform you, the parents, and about what to expect this year with me as the classroom teacher, and how you can kind of help them and support them at home and have them have the best year possible. All right, so there's just a few things I want to highlight really quickly for you. Let's start off with the fact that in my classroom we are an inquiry-based classroom, which means throughout the year we are going to have these big essential questions kind of guide our learning, and we take outcomes from different strands of the curriculum, and we kind of put them together, the ones that have common themes, and we ask questions and we try to find the answers on our own, and then at the end of the 6 week cycle we kind of show our learning through a project that the students generate through questions they've had to the previous lessons. All right, so basically, I want to show you what a lesson kind of looks like in my classroom. Anything I hand out to the students, whether it's social science, language arts, it's all based out of 4 marks. Okay, so here's a great example of a social studies lesson. So usually it starts with the title, and it's broken down into 3 parts. There is an activate. And the way I describe an activate, it's like doing warm-up laps before a phys ed class. It just kind of gets your brain thinking about the topic. So here's a simple question: what do you know about World War II, and what was Canada's role in World War II? So we talk about that for a bit at the start of the lesson, and ask questions, share any schema or background knowledge that we have on the topic. Next, there's a development part. This is kind of the learning, the meat and potatoes of the lesson. We go through and there'll be questions. And in this case, we listen to old CBC radio broadcasts from their archives, and the students are asked to give their point of view, what they watched. Now, if your student just did the activate and the develop part of a lesson, they will get a 3 out of 4. Now, if they want to choose to get a 4 out of 4, every one of these social science, career ed, health lessons have this at the very end. It's called the bump it up. What we ask is that if the student does want a 4 out of 4, they do the bump it up. The bump it up is some kind of question or activity at the end of a lesson that just kind of reinforces the idea behind that lesson. So if they can do the bump it up, it shows us that they really understood that lesson. In this case, they have to go and research some conflict that Canada has been involved in, and they create a fake radio broadcast of a soldier's point of view from the lesson. And if they hand that in, they would get a 4 out of 4. Now, how do they hand in something? Great question. I'm going to show you a website we use quite a bit in our classroom. It is called edmodo.com. Basically, it turns our classroom into a paperless classroom. Now, I've gone and created a fake student account here, Michael J. Basically, this is what your student has a code and they log on. And basically, what you're looking at here is what your student would see, your son or daughter would have. As they scroll down, it'll say your teacher has sent you a lesson to this group, and they have a group code to join here. And in this case, it says Science Lesson 1, Rocks, due November 14th, and we'll work through the assignment individually. So in this case, it's an individual assignment. Right here is the link, the Word document. So what your son or daughter would do is click on this, they download it, and they work through the lesson. They can read through it, and then once they answer it, or once they're done with the assignment, they can turn it in virtually here. So they don't have to print it out. They don't do nothing. They hit this turn in button, and then there's a few steps to attach the Word document, and then I see that they turned it in, and I can mark it. And if they've done everything, including the bump it up, 4 out of 4. If they've only done the develop and the activate, 3 out of 4 max. Hopefully that gives you an idea. There is a parent code tied to this Edmodo website where you can see everything your student sees. So like in this case, if they hand in this science lesson and I have a question, I can comment on it, and the student gets a notification, and you would get a notification as well that in this case, Mr. Norman commented, or when I mark it, you can get a notification of the mark. And let's say it's a 3 out of 4, you can ask your son or daughter, well, why is it a 3 out of 4? And I might comment why, or you can see and ask them, work through the bump it up with them at home or whatever. But that's how we do a majority of our handing in. So your son or daughter's marks for science, social, career ed, and health are determined through the lessons here, make up a third of the mark. The project we do at the end of the 6 weeks makes up a third of the mark. And then there's something we call think tanks, and those are located on the back wall of my classroom. They're just short individual assignments tied to the outcomes that we're working on in that 6 week block. And that makes up a third of their marks. So if they do their lessons, they get a project in, and they do the think tanks, they're going to be doing very well in the classroom. And the other mark is just a participation mark in class and how well they're working in their groups and stuff like that. So that's kind of an idea of how they're going to get their social science, career ed, and health marks. So you get an idea there. Another thing I want to talk about is English language arts. There's a few documents I want to show you. We do a weekly 5 in my classroom. This is a sheet. This is the weekly 5 sheet that they'll be asked to hand in once a week. Friday, actually, at 3:37 of each week, they're asked to hand in this sheet. Basically, what it is a little reflection. They have these 4 boxes right here they have to fill out about something they read throughout the week. And then down here, they get a mark out of 4 on that, by the way. And down here, they get a mark for out of 8 for their writing lesson. Now, every Monday, I will give the students a writing lesson, a little mini lesson, time to work throughout the week on their writing lesson. They get a mark out of 8 on that. As well, on Tuesdays of each week, I will give a reading lesson. We'll do a little mini lesson. We'll pick some strategy. We'll work through it. They have the entire week to hand it in. And then we do this little word work on Wednesday. That's some kind of, sometimes it can be grammar, spelling, whatever area I see that I want to do a little mini lesson on Wednesdays, we do that. I ask them to hand in. They have a paper copy of this sheet. They can take it. I ask them to staple the writing assignment, then reading assignment, then their word work, hand it in, and I give them a mark of 25. So 4 here for the word work, 8 and 8 for the reading and writing assignment, 4 here for the read to self, and then I give 1 mark for their goal. They have to set a goal. Next week, I will read 200 minutes. I will try to finish 1 book. Whatever their goal is, I give a mark for that. So that's how they get a mark every week. If they choose not to, hand one of these assignments in, it will have effect on their overall mark. So each week, 25 marks there as well. The only other language arts mark right now is this thing called In the News. This was a paper copy that the students get, and once a week we take a newspaper article and we just discuss it as a class, and we have great discussions. We usually relate it to our essential question. I ask what they know about the topic, stuff they learned, facts they learned. They come up with thick and thin questions, and the great part here is point of view. Give me your point of view, support it. Whatever your point of view is, great, as long as you can back it up with 3 reasons. And they get a mark out of 4 every week for this In the News. All right. So if you're curious, I'm going to actually show you one thing before there. Now, we do straight grade math here as well. So if your son or daughter is in grade 8 math, bear with me. I see my time's running out on this. I'm just going to stop it here, and we're going to go have 2 parts, I guess, for this video. So I'll talk about math and how you can get a look at the report card before it comes out, and our school website in the second video. Thank you very much.